Hey you guys, today I wanted to talk about the listing presentation, specifically about the marketing material that we use. These are the highlight parts that you guys absolutely have to get down perfectly so that when you do your presentation, you can explain these parts of the marketing properly, because it's one of the huge things that sets us apart from everybody else. So I'm gonna stick to the script, a lot of it, but I might stop and talk to you guys a little bit too and point out a few things. Notice when I smile, notice how I nod my head, notice some body language things, but then also just notice what I do when I talk about the presentation. So first thing I do when I pull up this slide is I talk about the importance of team. And I say, listen, you guys, I don't know how many deals you've done, other agents you've worked with, but have you ever worked with a team? Most people say no, and then I say, awesome. You know, one of the things that is great about our team is the fact that there are multiple people behind the scenes working on your deal. We've got marketers, we've got videographers, we've got people doing digital marketing, online marketing, all of this stuff for you guys, Facebook marketing, to make sure that things happen. And that's one of the problems with real estate agents, is they get into the business and they're expected to wear like 17 different hats, and they end up just being terrible at all of them. But the nice thing is, with me and my team, we've got dedicated staff to help market your team. And because of that, we've been able to get 5-star review after 5-star review after 5-star review. That's important to you guys to know, that we've been there and done that, and that people have liked our service, right? That's the other thing to watch for. I'm always asking questions to get them to confirm with what we're doing. So, next slide. I go into Marketing Matters and I say, listen, you guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we're going to do different than everybody else. You'll hear people, agents come in, they'll talk about how awesome their company is. They'll talk about they're gonna do all this amazing stuff, but you know what it is? It's a bunch of fluff. It's a bunch of stuff that sounds good, but at the end of the day, do you know what they do? They just throw it on the MLS, and then there's syndicated sites that just blast it all over, but guess what? We all do that. You're not interested in the fluff, are you? I thought so. That's why I wanna talk about the stuff that we're gonna do different that no one else is gonna do different. And let me tell you something. It all comes down to paid marketing. What is my agent gonna do to sell my home, to pay and sponsor marketing to generate more buyers and more leads, because we know more leads and more buyers equal more showings. And there's a direct correlation. How many showings we get to how many offers and higher prices that we get. Would you agree? So as an agent, if I can spend the majority of my time marketing your home, not only to a lot of people, but the right people, the targeted buyers out there, that's where you want me spending my time, correct? Awesome. Let me show you some of the things that we'll do that no one else is gonna do for you guys. So we like to do this coming soon campaign, where we do a little countdown timer for you. We build you a website. And Mr. and Mrs. Seller, while you guys are staging, and we'll go over that in a little bit, but while you're staging and getting the house ready, I know you're not gonna be ready to list this thing today or tomorrow. But while you're working on getting the house ready, and we're scheduling photos, we're scheduling videos, I'm gonna be out there marketing your property. You know, there's buyers that come in every single day and they're looking at homes, and no one's gonna know your home is for sale for the next 2 weeks with an average agent. But with me, I'm gonna post this coming soon page for you guys. And when we do this, it brings a massive amount of people. I like to think about it like a Hollywood movie. Has there been any good movies you guys have seen lately? Well, exactly. Did you hear about that movie the day it came out, or did they run previews 6 months before? Did they announce it a year before, right? Why did they do that? Exactly, they did it to build hype. And what's interesting is when that hype happens, it makes these movies or homes appear better or more elusive, and it makes you want it. And so when we start collecting an audience and they want something that they can't have, what does it make them want? Correct, it makes them want it even more, right? And that's exactly what you want when you're selling your house. You wanna build that hype, you wanna build that excitement. And so when we do this campaign, on average, we generate 100 people that will come and register to find out more information on your home. Now, we don't have to show it to them, right? We can save it for the open house, but we're building that hype and we're building those people to come in and see your home. Is that the type of marketing that you want done on your home? Awesome. Okay, so So I combine that coming soon with this little flyer right here, because I let them know that on average, we've got 80 leads right here, but I say it's gotten even better. On average, we're at 100 leads. And here's just some example of people registering again and again and again and again on our website for those. Okay. Next thing that I do is I jump into the power of video. Okay. Power of video, and you can kind of do this in different orders. If it's a house that maybe video is not going to show very well, then I'm gonna save this for last, and I'm not really going to hit on it as hard. But if it's a beautiful house, if it can be video, then we absolutely want to hit on it, but you don't have to hit on it next. Now, the other thing, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, that we're going to do for you guys that no one else is going to do for you is we're going to do a video tour for your home. It's going to be fun. It's going to be quick. It's going to be exciting. And the power of video is amazing because it helps you and your home stand out. For example, if you were a buyer looking in California at homes in South Jordan, and you looked at 30 to 50 homes a day, but this home was the only one that had a video tour on it, how do you think that would impact the memory of the buyer? Do you think that would get them more excited to want to see the home? Absolutely. Anytime in marketing you can do something different than the masses, you're doing a good thing. And that's the power of video. It helps people remember, it gets a better feel, it can tell a story and point out features about your house that pictures just can't create. Now, the best part about video, I haven't even got to it yet. What we do with this video is we post it online and we pay marketing money to get views. And on average, when we do that, we get about 10,000 hits on people looking at your video. Can you imagine the traffic that we're going to bring to your home when we do video marketing? Can you see how valuable that is to marketing your home? And is that the type of marketing that you want? Awesome. I'm glad you recognize that, because I wouldn't spend this money on this stuff if it didn't work. So next, we're going to talk about this slide right here. This is kind of a census map. I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys so that you can see a little bit better. This is what I talk about. So next thing that we're going to do, it gets better. There's more. The next thing that we do to get you more buyers into your house is we target the people from out of the state or out of the county who are looking to move to your area. And so you can go to census.gov and you can pull the highest places that are migrating to Salt Lake County, for example. And what we do is the internet knows where your computer is located through your IP address. So if you're looking on your computer or your mobile device and you're in Southern California, what we can do is we can tell Google and Facebook to put our ad in front of you when you search for homes in Utah. And the best part is these California buyers, when they look at a home for $400,000 here in Utah, what do they think about that price? Exactly, they're ecstatic. They're like, oh my gosh, this seems like an awesome deal. And so when we do this out-of-state marketing campaign for your home, what we've been able to do is on average, we usually generate about another 30 buyers that will register on our site that want to know more information about your home. I've actually got a little screenshot here that I printed. You can see this is a home that we listed in Lehi, and all of these people registered in Lehi for $790,000. We generated 30 of these leads, and people put in their full name, their full information. How serious would you have to be to put in your full name, email, and real phone number to find out about a property? You'd have to be pretty serious. That's the type of marketing that we're going to bring and expertise that we're going to bring to your home. I'm going to ask you again, is this the type of marketing that you guys would expect from the agent that you hire? Awesome. By now, they're probably going to be closed. And so if you want a couple other things to point out to you, I like to show them this page because I let them know that, over the last 4 years, we've been able to generate 16,000 buyer leads. And I like to hit on the point that, listen, me and my team are experts at marketing. not only do we know how to market, but we know how to find the right people for the right property. And so if you're going to pay somebody a commission, you might as well pay somebody that has experience and that's going to do a ton of sponsored marketing and paid marketing to bring more buyers to your home. You know, anyone who's got this resume with 16,000 leads knows what they're doing. And in addition, I can do a printout and filter the leads for the city and price range that your future listing is going to be. And so sometimes I do that. I'll take this list and I'll filter that down and I'll show them, hey, look, you're selling in West Jordan for $300,000. I did a search this morning on my website to see how many active buyers we've got looking. And oh my gosh, we've got like 30 people that have logged on in the last 20 days that want a home in West Jordan that meets your price range. So if you hire me today, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I will start today at getting a hold of those people, letting them know your home is coming for sale. We'll start the pre-marketing and we'll get everything scheduled for the video and the photos. I'm ready to get to work for you. Are you ready? Right? And we'll kind of finish with a little bit of closes. So make sure to point that out. It's a powerful tool to show how many active buyers we actually have in the database. One last thing I forgot to show you guys. It was kind of on this slide right here on the Power of Video slide where we've got 15,000 views, 11,000 views, 7,000 views. I also like to show, when we're talking about video views, I skip this a little bit, but I also like to show this actual printout. We've got a couple of these where I've got 15,000 views on this property. I've got 11,000 views on this one. I've got 9,000 views on this one, 7,000. And so even though the screenshot is not super professional, sometimes it's better to be authentic and say, here's some examples of some different stuff that we've done as social proof to them. So in a nutshell, that's how I do the marketing presentation. And then with the listing packet, I say, now listen, there's a bunch of other things that we do that I can take the time to go over every single page with you guys, but I just have to ask you, do we need to go through those, or do you feel like you already know that I'm the right person to sell your house? And the second they say, I mean, honestly, this happens 90% of the time, no, you're the right person to sell my house. Like, you're the right one. Maybe they want to get onto commissions and you've overcome that objection, but I've started to not even really dive into the listing presentation unless they say, well, we'd like to see what else you do, and we can cover that on another time. But for now, if you guys can master this part of the presentation, your success is going to go through the roof. So this was a short presentation, but the reality is we become a very impatient society. And so people just want to know the nuts and bolts of things. If you feel like you've got a seller that, you know, you've got to build more rapport with, do that while you're walking through the home. Do that while you're talking about her grandkids. Do that part of it, and then tailor the same presentation to who you're talking to. If it's a driver personality that just wants answers, you're going to go a little bit quicker and you're just going to hit on these points. If it's an analytical, do the same thing, but then stop and make sure to give them time to really think about it. Mark, 15,000 hits. Pause. That's the type of marketing you want, right? If it's someone who's more emotional, right? Then, you know, then it's going to be a lot more, hey, 15,000 views. I mean, you're trying to sell this house and get absolute top dollar for it. You've been here for years. You've kept it in pristine shape. You deserve to get that money, and you deserve marketing like this. Do you agree? You guys see the differences between personalities? And then if they're outgoing, right? Same thing, like, oh my gosh, we're going to do the video tour. It's going to be amazing. You're going to absolutely love what we do. I mean, could you imagine all over the internet, 15,000 views? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. That's the marketing you want, right? Awesome. High five. And then I literally slap their hand across the table. So you don't need to go long. You just need to know what their personalities are and then tailor these facts to them, because we live in a I want it now society, and so no one wants to sit through a 2-hour presentation. And if they're not sold at this point, ask them why. Ask them why. In fact, ask questions. If you guys are running through this presentation and you're not stopping and saying, is that the marketing you want? Have you ever heard of any other agents generating 100 leads for their clients before it even hits the market? You're having a beautiful house. You want to showcase it in a way through video that people are really going to connect with, right? Be sure to ask those questions, because every time they say yes to some of your questions, and sometimes it's not a yes, no. In fact, it's better if it's not yes, no. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, how would you feel if we could get that type of exposure for your home? Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if we got 15,000 people to view your video, how do you think that would help to get buyers into your home with more marketing? Those are the questions that you need to ask to them to get them to respond, because every time they say yes, or well, that would feel amazing, that's just closing the deal for you. So that when you finally ask for their business, they say, yeah, that would be amazing. Well, yeah, that would feel awesome. Well, yeah, I don't like realtors. And so the fact that you've shown me this and all the realtors just throw it on the MLS, I agree. Like, yeah, that's the marketing I want. Then when you close them, they're going to say yes and you're going to get the business. A few tips on closing. Because you've already asked them the questions along the way of how would this marketing make you feel? As a realtor, if you knew that I was doing this and I was generating 100 leads for you, that would be the person that you would want to hire, right? As you're getting those yeses, now it's going to get time to the close. And so when I say, listen, I've got more marketing to go over, it's a lot of little stuff. It's still amazing, but it's a lot of little stuff. But I just want to ask, do I need to go through that, or do you feel pretty good that I'm the right person to sell your house? And if they say yes there, awesome. Let's go to the paperwork. I'm ready to get started. And then you just immediately go over the paperwork. This is you, this is me. I charge 6% and $4.95, 2-month protection period. You're gonna have to provide seller's disclosures, and you just get into it. Don't even stop and say like, is that okay? How do you feel about that? Just say, so initial here, initial here, initial here. Make them stop you and say, wait, what's this $4.95 fee? So glad you asked. I just showed you all that marketing, right? That's what that $4.95 fee is for. It's to help us, because we're going to spend thousands of dollars on your listing. It's to help us to continue to do that high level of marketing. And that high level marketing is what you want, right? Well, yeah, of course. Awesome. Initial here, sign here, date here, right? If they want to go through the listing packet, finish going through the listing packet with them. And then at the end, say, now, do you feel comfortable and confident that I am the right person to sell your house? Once you guys get the yes from that type of question, there should be nothing stopping you except for commissions, okay? The only thing that would potentially stop you is if they bring up an objection and say, oh, well, but do you do open houses? Yeah, I do actually. So now that you know that, do you feel comfortable and confident that I'm the right person? Stick with that until they say yes on that. The only other objections they could say is, well, how much are you going to charge me for a commission? Awesome, I'm so glad you're asked. We're about to get that. But if, and here's the close, if we can agree on a commission and a price, do you agree that I'm the right person to sell your house? Do you believe that no one else is going to get any more money than me, right? Still get that close, because now we're past that part. Now you've got them committed. And then when it comes to price, if they need to work on price, or they say, well, I'm thinking about pricing it higher, then now you know exactly what you have to work off of, and you can get in that. If it's all about commission, now you've got a chance to try to object to that, and they can say, yeah, I love you, I agree with you. As long as you can do it for 4%, you're mine. Okay, great. Well, let's talk about that, right? And then you guys can get into objection handling with commissions. But my main closes are, do you feel comfortable and confident that I'm the right person to sell your house? And I'm ready to get to work for you. Let's get started. As soon as they agree that you are the right marketing, go straight to the paperwork. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I want you to know that I've worked on this system for literally the last 10 years on helping perfect marketing for sellers. It is better than everywhere else. It does sell homes for more money, and it does sell them faster. And if you use it properly, you will absolutely close more deals. And the number one objection right now for sellers is they don't want to pay the commission. But when you explain this to them, what you do to market, suddenly the commission is not an issue. And they always say, As long as I know why I'm spending that commission, I'm okay spending it. So remember, when they talk about commission, you agree with them. Oh my gosh, I can't believe those other agents charge 6%. They just throw it on the MLS. But here, we do this, and they're going to get that vision, and they're going to be signing with you way more frequently.